Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I need to tell you a story. When I first moved to the South, to Savannah, Georgia, my friends thought I was crazy. Why would you leave Southern California for the South? It's backwards. I had come here for love. I'd gotten married, but we got annulled, and my friends were excited and said, "Great, you can move back." And I said, "No, even with the history, there is so much hope." I could see it on the faces of folks who greeted me. I could see it in interactions. I could see in the midst of things that went wrong that there were those who were seeking to make things right. Well, over time, short period of time, friends came to visit, and little by little, they started moving here too. I have 18 friends with their families who've all moved here. Some came here and in 10 minutes said, let's start looking for a house. It is beautiful. But what makes it beautiful is the hope for the future. One of my sisters moved here. We raised our children together in California, and she moved here with her new wife, and they had a child. And during the period of time, they were worried about how the South would receive them, what would happen, but they were hopeful. They said, there's something different here that we haven't felt in other places. But still, because we're slow on some things, our state required that my sister Erica have to adopt her own child, because even though these two women are married, one gave birth and the other did not. So Erica was not happy about having to go to a courtroom and stand there and proclaim that I was there for every appointment, I was there for the birth, I was there for everything. My name is on the birth certificate. But it was done. And fortunately, when she walked in that courtroom, the judge looked at her and smiled. He looked at their baby and smiled. He looked at that couple and their love and could see the love, and he smiled. And he said, not every day in a courtroom is it a joyful day, but today is a day of joy. It's a day of hope. A few years ago, when Ahmaud Arbery was killed, senselessly, run down and killed, I couldn't do much to talk about it out loud because I have a history of that kind of killing in my own family, and I haven't reckoned with all of that yet. And folks said, "See, I told you not to move to the South. You know they're going to get away with it." But then we heard that Judge Walmsley, the same judge that presided over my niece's adoption, was the judge. And when he ruled in that case, he said Ahmaud Arbery's death should force us to consider expanding our definition of what a neighbor may be and how we treat them. I argue that maybe a neighbor is more than the people who just own property around your house. I believe that assuming the worst in others, we show our worst character, and that in assuming the best in others is always the best course of action. Judge Walmsley's words in that sentencing ring home now. Who is your neighbor? Who is your family? Who is your sister? Who is your brother? Can you expand that definition from your heart so that you can see that this is my family? That there's no place in this country that I can go that I cannot call my own. And that if I have the right heart, I can bring some light about that place. We're all called to do that. We're all called to love. We're all called to look beyond what we consider something different from us and see our connectedness. Only when we do this will there be some hope. Yesterday, my sister called and said, she actually messaged me and said, "You want to see something cool?" I wrote back and said, "New phone, who dis?" She said, "Who took your phone?" I said, "It's me. But you know I want to see something cool." And she sent me this amazing picture of her family with Judge Walmsley and the artist Scott Stanton, our beautiful artist who did an amazing piece for the judge. It is a community. It is a community of people coming together to see better than the past. We can't do anything about what happened, but what is happening and what will happen is up to all of us when we show love, when we live our best character. I love you.